what the heck is going on with the market? Your market update coming up. Stay tuned. Hey, it's Ashley Keller Williams Real Estate. Welcome to my channel. If you have not tuned in for one of my monthly market updates or seen any of my other videos on YouTube, I have a ton of resources out there for people looking to sell their homes, looking to buy a home, anything real estate. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. All right. So let's get to the business. We're getting ready to look at the numbers for last month. And man, what's the news? The news is there's no houses available. That's the news. All right, let's get down to the numbers. Okay, so first we're going to look at the whole entire city of Everett. And, what's interesting is, in some ways, January 2020 was almost like just pre-pandemic. I mean, I think that if I remember correctly, I think it was like January or February where we heard about the first case in Snohomish County. So you can see the new listings, they've almost come up to meet last year's level. Okay. You can see that we have more homes pending, and you can also see a notable increase in sales price. I mean, that's up 13.5% since last year. And look at those days on market. 15 days on market compared to 5. And look, I'm going to say this, and I'll say it probably again a little bit later. I think that days on market number is inflated because, if you're right now shopping for a house, you know that when something hits the market, I mean, if they didn't have an offer review date, it would be sold right away. Okay, now we're in North Everett. We're going to look a little bit closely at it. You can see we're looking at 2020 January, 2021 January, and you can see the same trend kind of when you look at the city level and looking at this specific area, North Everett, that, new listings are almost back to the same levels that they were pre-pandemic. And, you can even actually see that the pending listings, I mean, I feel like that's almost more of an important indicator than the new listings. They're up above, almost suggesting that we actually have more inventory. And look at the number of houses that were sold, right? Look at that. Look at that. Sold houses above that. And here's the thing that I think is maybe more, telling is these homes for sale. You see that nice decrease there. And then again, you see the decrease on the days on market, 25 days plus on market, all the way down to 7. That is amazing. Month supply, we're at half a month last year, and this year we're at 0.3. Now you might be wondering what is really driving this if the number of new listings are about the same. You know what it is? There's more people buying houses. That's the flip side of this equation, people have been asking the wrong question. They want to know, hey, when are we going to get more inventory, right? When are we going to get more houses? Well, we're going to see how this plays out, but it looks like we're going to have more inventory than we have had in previous years. But the issue is the number of buyers in the market. Onward. All right. Same graph, a nice strong 20% increase since last year. So, when you're kind of comparing January 2020 to 2021, look at that, 20% up. We're at 420 in January 2021 on the median sale price. And again, here we've got nearly 2 years of data, and you can see the continued increase in median sales prices. And I mean, I think the thing that is, maybe the most telling is going to be really on the next graph, where you can see this right here. Okay. It's getting to the point where, it's always over 400. I mean, always over 400, that median sales price. Right. And, that really indicates something. I mean, it's important to note that, there is a small number of homes that do sell for less than 400, but the majority are not. Here, again, this has held very strong percent of list price received. I mean, we talked about this last month, and we see it here. It continues to stay kind of in that between 2 and 4% over asking price. The thing to note here actually is of all the sales that happened last month, of all the sales that happened last month, there were 2 that were under list price. One of them was at 93.15%, so just about 6%, 7% under asking. And there was another one that was at 97.78. But here's the flip side of that. Here's the flip side that you're not really paying attention to. The house that sold for the most over asking was 20.71% over asking. So that means that, yeah, when you're preparing, you're kind of like getting your mind wrapped around like, okay, what am I going to pay for a house here? Or how much over asking am I going to have to go? You might be thinking, oh, okay, well, look, she says the average is about 4%. Well, guess what? But it could be as much as 20%. It could be as much as 20%. And you're not really, I wouldn't bank on getting anything under asking price at this point. Like it's just not realistic. I'm working with several buyers right now, and you're not going to put an offer in under asking, not in this market. This is like the craziest seller's market of all time. And I was actually talking to one of my mentors about it, who's been in real estate for like 20 plus years. And I asked her, I said, hey, I was like, what do we do when the market's like this? And she told me, I don't know. It's never been like this. So it just carries on. It continues on. So, I mean, if you're in the market to buy a house, definitely expect to pay over asking price, and, really prepare yourself for like maybe 10, 15, 20% over. And what that might mean is that might mean bringing extra cash to closing because maybe it doesn't appraise. And that's just the situation we're in. It's a very, 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 very strong seller's market right now. Here, this is going to become one of my favorite graphs. I presented it last month, and I am going to show it to you now. We're just going to kind of keep moving forward. We're going to do like a rolling 12 months on this. And I love to pay attention to the median cost of a 3-bed, 2-bath, because it is like the most commonly asked for thing. When a new buyer calls me on the phone and they're like, hey, I'm like, hey, what are you looking for? They want a 3-bed, 2-bath, detached house. All right. So the thing to pay attention to here is there are not very many of them available on a monthly basis. I mean, you can see that the height happened last year in July. There were 10. Okay. And you can see that in August is going to reflect what happened in July. You can see that median sales price popped way up there, right? I mean, it's nearly 600,000. And last month we were at about 513,000 for a 3-bed, 2-bath median price. Okay. I mean, you're just not going to get a 3-bed, 2-bath house for like 300 anymore. And honestly, I've been watching the market, and even a 2-bed, 1-bath, which, those come up here occasionally. They come up on the market. I mean, I don't think you're going to be able to get one of those for under 400. Not anymore. I mean, they've just been selling like, there was a listing over, where was that? I think it's the Delta neighborhood. And it was listed at 350, and it ended up trading at 420, and it had like 19 offers. And that was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. So, that comp now exists, right? The problem is now that comp exists, right? So moving forward, when people are doing pricing, they're going to be thinking, okay, well, this thing is probably like 400 and change. All right. So that's where the market's going. All right. Well, look, I mean, if you're thinking about selling a house, I mean, great time to sell a house. I mean, I think you're going to get, again, record price for your home. Okay. Record price for your home. And if you have been thinking, hey, I'm going to wait to buy or wait for prices to come down, man, you're just going to have to keep on waiting, because I don't see this going down anytime soon. Now, I was looking at a couple of reports. Zillow thinks up in this area we're going to have still double digit. I think they're thinking like 11.8% appreciation this year. And, that might be a little bit bullish, okay? It could be. I mean, there are other like big time real estate sources. They're kind of projecting more like 4, 5, 6%. I mean, man, you know what I think is going to really determine that? Interest rates. Okay. Interest rates. What are interest rates going to do? They're still low. They're like the lowest they've ever been in history. Okay. But you know what? looking historically, if they just tick up a little bit, 1%, maybe, 1.5%, could make a big difference in what kind of gains people get on appreciation for their homes this year. So look, put your questions down in the comments, like the video, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you again soon.